What's up? Welcome to the Hobbynomicon. I wanted to do a quick mini channel update. Nothing crazy or too serious, but it's been 154 days of making videos every day, of making stuff every day, kind of making stuff every day, which is a big part of what I want to talk about. I do have notes, so you'll probably see me glancing down at, but 154 days, I just saw 144 subscribers, almost a subscriber a day. That's crazy. I never thought I'd even get more than 5 subscribers. So to be in over 100 was really cool. What I want to talk about is kind of a little bit more about me, the vision for the future of what I'm going to be doing here, what I want to be doing, because I feel like I've kind of lost my way, and not in a bad way, but I just really like playing Kingdom Death. But I didn't ever want this channel to be a Kingdom Death channel, or Kingdom Death to take over the creative side or the hobby side of things. So just to get that part out of the way, I'm going to post one more Kingdom Death video on this channel, and when I post that one, I will have set up a second channel that's going to be all Kingdom Death all the time. So everything I post there will be Kingdom Death, and then I'm going to keep the Kingdom Death stuff off this channel, just because this is my channel to make cool stuff and be creative and do the hobby side, and I really just don't want it to be a Kingdom Death channel which is pretty much what I made it, what I turned it into, because that's just the main thing I was excited about doing. And I'm still really excited about it, but I want to get back into making stuff every day, making art every day. I'm going too far. I'm going to make a second channel that's Kingdom Death only. That'll be over there. I'm going to make a third channel. I'm getting crazy now. I'm going to make a third channel that's War Machine only, all the time, War Machine. My goal with that is to focus on box art, painting tutorials, for now using Army Painter speed paints, because I think they're the cheapest and best paints you can do, at least for sure that I've used. They're very affordable, they're everywhere. I think those are going to be the best bet at just trying to get as many people to have painted War Machine armies as possible, and maybe the occasional battle report, because again, I don't even really want the channel I want now to be a painting tutorial channel. I want it to be a daily goofy cool making cool stuff channel of just random stuff. So, and that brings me to this a little bit more about myself, and I started this I'm just really inspired by Trent and his daily hobby blog, and seeing what he was doing, and I thought hey, if I paint every day, if I actually engage in this hobby that I've loved my entire life, and if I have the commitment of posting a video every day, it doesn't really matter if anybody watches it, if it gets me actually doing it and participating in it. And that's what it's done. But it's done so much more for me, and so many things that I can't even put into words. I'm just, life is so much better from posting a video a day. And it sounds crazy, it sounds silly, but really doing that it's improved almost every single other aspect of my life. Don't worry about being afraid of editing, just post it and get yourself showing up every day to make art and create things. And now, again, going into the more personal kind of thing, I turned 36. I probably look old for 36, especially since I'm super bald and gray where I do have it, which is also more of what I'm talking about is, I look back at the last 20 years of my life, and I've spent that entire 20 years building businesses for other people, right? Well, my son is also turning 4 this year, which is a big thing for me, because one, I got sober when I found out my wife was pregnant with him. He's my second kid. I have 4 kids total. So the day we found out she was pregnant with him, I got sober, was a very, very heavy drinker. I haven't been this sober since I was a kid, and I feel like a kid again. So it's weird to look back at all of those years in between, and it was almost like a different life. And now it's almost like I have a second chance to start it over, even though I'm technically a boomer now, I think that's how that works. So I've been in this business development, doing things to make other people more money my whole life, 20 years. I got lucky. I had an internship at 16, went right into corporate America. I've seen all sides of the business, and I started my first business at 18. It was a hookah lounge. I was not ready. My business partners were not ready for the level of responsibility and commitment that takes. It didn't work out. Immediately started a second business with some business partners. Again, a lot of crazy stuff happened with that one too. Didn't work out. Swore off business partners forever. Still swear off business partners forever. Nobody should ever have a business partner. But so I've always kind of worked and then had another business on the side, you know? And I never really took the side business or myself seriously. I always just kind of worked for other people and was very successful, had to have a very successful career in it. And I worked my way up to like Fortune 100, as high as I could go for my age. And 2 months before my wife gave birth to my son, I got fired because the next paycheck I would have received a life-changing amount of money in vested shares. And I don't want to go too much into that, but I had been working from 3 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day because I was in charge of not only the American marketing team, but the European marketing team, the APAC, which I don't even remember what it stands for. I like purposely blocked that out. But pretty much all of Asia and India, Japan, South America. I was in charge of all those marketing teams too. So every day I had to interface with all those teams. So I was sleeping like 4 hours a day for about 1.5 years straight, and was just killing myself for this, getting great results. And when it was time to pay me for all of that, they let me go so I wouldn't be able to sell my shares. That immediately disillusioned me to corporate America because one, I saw the people who are running everything, which again, I don't even want to get into any of that stuff. But two, I realized that wasn't a one-time thing. That's not a one company thing. That's what happens to everybody who is an outsider that kind of has to hustle from the way up, and right before you get there, they kick you back out. And I'm super jaded and super salty about it. You could probably tell, and I don't want to talk too much about that. But why I'm talking about that is because that's what made me decide that I'm never going to go back to work for somebody. I'm only ever going to have my own business. So for 6 months after that, my wife gave birth. I think it was literally like 45, somewhere between 45 and 60 days after that happened. My wife gave birth. Paying out of pocket for childbirth sucks. If you want to know, in America, it's terrible. So pretty much for 6 months, I wiped out the savings while I was building and just trying to even figure out like what the next step was. I started my own marketing consulting agency. So after 6 months of making no money, I had the most successful year of my life, making like twice as much money as I had ever made in a single year before. And I was like, hey, this is it. Like, we've made it. This is what it's going to be. Like, I'm just going to grow this out, and I'll grow out an agency, and it'll be what it is. I was working from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. for somebody else. Like, I'll do it for myself, and we'll hustle and I'll grind and we'll get wrong. I would have 2 very successful years, and then I would have some twins, and I would restart and reset. And whoa, I just almost knocked this over in editing, and I forgot to tell this part. I pretty much started back over from zero with 0 again and built it back up. And I'm still nowhere near where I was, but we're paying the bills and we're living life. But it's kind of like this feeling of like, all right, I gotta, the twins are getting old enough now that I don't have to help around the house as much. And I'm super lucky to be able to be around for all the kids' childhoods. And now it's like, how do I start building again? You know, like, what's the next big phase? Again, I don't want to get too far down because it turned me from like a very staunch capitalist into like, none of this is fun. It's a simulation. Like, why am I going to work for somebody else's? I roll the nickels. And I don't know why I just quoted Charles Manson. It just totally changed my whole worldview about what was important, what mattered, how the world worked. And I was kind of lost. Like, even this happened 4 years ago, whenever that was. And I've been kind of trying to find myself again. But it's kind of like, what is the next step? Because now I have the twins that are they're coming up on, there'll be 2 this year, you know? So it's like, every time I kind of find my stride, I do something that just causes my life to fall into chaos. And this channel has really kind of shown me that maybe my life doesn't have to be what I thought it could be. And maybe my life can be one grounded in art and being an artist and making things and sharing that out with the world. And I don't really know what that looks like yet. I'm just kind of formulating that in my head, but I know it starts by like getting this channel back into just making stuff and seeing what comes out of that. And I know, like, I don't want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to be an influencer, But I do want to make art, I do want to make videos, and I do want to share it out to the world and figure out like what happens after that. I don't know. It's kind of like step one, make videos, a bunch of steps in between, profit. And I don't want the profit to be from the videos. You know, you can't prostitute the muse, you know? So I don't know. This is a big rambly video. I didn't do any hobbying in the video. You probably already tuned out. You tuned out after 2 minutes. But that's why the important thing was that KDM's not going to be on here anymore after that one more KDM video. I'm going to get back to making stuff. I have a ton of stuff that's inspiring me. I have the Infinity Commission that's going to be finished, hopefully for sure this month. And then next month, I'm going to be doing a whole new Army commission for somebody else. And then I got a lot of stuff. And I'm working, I have been hobbying, so I'm working on making a video about this project. So I don't think I've published it yet, but this is what I'm working on right now. A long way to go on it. But I don't know, I'm excited for the future. And I want to have that figured out before my birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. So there'll be a bigger announcement once I figure out what I'm doing. But if you're here, thank you. I appreciate you. This has been life-changing for me. I don't know if I need to look at the dot or the middle of the screen, the dot, like always. But I don't know. So that's a little bit more about me, a little bit more about what I'm doing. At the end of the day, I'm hoping to inspire people to just make stuff. And maybe just like rethink the paradigms. And I also acknowledge like I'm in a pretty privileged spot to even be able to start thinking about the paradigms in the first place. So thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with the return of making cool stuff.